And then there's some of it that really sucks.
It does feel strange on a daily basis.
It doesn't make anybody happy.
Hi and welcome to Flaawsome Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa. I'm an entertainment reporter and I worked in Hollywood for many, many years. I have like 500 interviews here on my channel, and I also have this man here on my channel. Well, Magnus, you've been here twice now, right?
On your channel?
Yes.
Yeah, this is my second time.
No, this is your third.
It is?
Yeah, you already forgotten. But he's my man, and he's also an entertainment reporter. How many years have you been in Magnus?
20, almost 30, I think. And I've been covering Hollywood for...
You're not that old, so that's impossible. You've been there for 30 years. So you've interviewed many, many celebrities as well. More than me, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And you had good and bad experiences? Only...
Oh, come on. Everybody does. I mean, yeah. I mean, what you have shown is super common. It's just that people usually don't admit it because they're so afraid of getting blacklisted. And
I think as well, when you look at American journalists, they're also being treated differently than international journalists. And especially if any talents go on a big talk show, for example, there are no limits to what you can talk about. They're always like, if you go on Howard Stern or on Jimmy Kimmel, the first story is always some cute story about their kids and whatever. And
but now, of course, the publicist is going to say, well, that's, you know, they have agreed to that beforehand.
That's true, but they also have agreed for us to interview them beforehand.
Yeah, because we're vetted. Our outlets or TV shows are vetted. They know exactly what they're getting. So it's such hypocrisy to sit and say that, oh, you have to talk about the movie.
Yeah, no, because the TV shows I worked for, everyone knew that they were like more celebrity based, and the newspaper you work for, Scandinavia's biggest newspaper, they wouldn't print anything like specifically just about a movie unless it's a very, very talked about movie, like something like James Bond, for example. I had to ask questions that was given to me a lot of the times by the editor.
Of course.
Didn't you have to do like, what's your angle, you know?
Everybody has a boss, right? We always have someone to answer to, and you know, nowadays it's easy for anyone to see what works and what doesn't work. So, you know, you come home with 8 movie questions answered to your, you know, entertainment show in the evening.
Yeah, they're not going to buy that.
No,
they're not going
to air it.
They're not going to air it.
And if that, yeah, if that worked, there would be shows like that on TV, or you know, the movie magazines wouldn't die. But they do.
And the thing is, when you are a celebrity, you kind of give away. It's a part of the deal that you have to give away a little bit of your privacy. I think I love when you talk to Leonardo DiCaprio about that. By the way, what he said. I think
we should show. Yeah, show that.
Yeah.
Have you sort of learned to handle people's focus and you know, the craziness around you better?
I don't think anyone who's in the public eye can ever truly get used to it. It's always a bit like a video game. It really, you know, it does feel strange on a daily basis, but at the end of the day, anyone that doesn't want to continue doing what they're doing and realizes that there's a bit of a sacrifice to being able to fulfill your dreams should go do something else. That's my attitude. You know, if I love what I do, I look at it as a gift, and I know that there's things that come with that, and I fully accept it, and you adapt. You adapt.
It's hard to find someone more famous than him, right?
Yeah, and he says basically go do something else. And I think, like you always say, you can go and do theater and do other things if you don't like that part of the job.
Yeah, you still get to practice your craft, and no one really cares. I mean, they care about your performance, but you're not going to be super famous. You're not going to be, you know, you're not going to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
No. And I mean, it's people like him, they're so professional. I feel all the ones at the top of their game, they know how to deal with these things, and they're very professional. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, he's always very good at, you know, maneuvering his way around personal questions and not answering them too personal.
Yeah, and he sort of eases back into the movie.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, it's a give and take.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course it's a game, and everybody knows it. But it's, you know, the celebrities want to talk about something, or they want to push their agenda or their hair products or something. And, you know, the studios want to push the movie. Your editor wants to hear about whatever he wants or she
Yeah.
wants to hear about, and you want to talk about something. And
Yeah.
you know, it's an equation that it's almost impossible to be.
To do it right.
You can't satisfy all four at the same time.
No.
It just doesn't work like that.
No, and you know, you can piss people off in so many different ways. You can talk badly about the movie, about something that, you know, what's happening on set, that they had a fallout with some of their co-stars, for example, you know, and then that's off limit. And if there's a political agenda in the movie, don't talk about that because we don't want to talk about politics. It's really hard to balance, you know, what you can talk about and not. And I think there's so many ways to get around questions. If anyone's watching this as an actor, you know, there's so many ways you can do things. And for me...
Maybe you can media train them.
Yeah. But for me, I feel like the most important thing is always to do it in a nice, polite way, you know, so everyone's there to do a job and we're letting everyone do their job and be nice about it. There's never a reason for anyone to be rude to someone. That's my opinion. And I think, you know, this happens so much in Hollywood. Here in LA, people are super rude. I find so many. I'm sorry, but
Really?
Yeah. I think there is a lot of rude people here, and I don't see the reason why you ever have to be rude to anyone, you know. I understand a celebrity that, you know, wants to keep their privacy. They're in a restaurant with their family and someone comes up to them and want a picture, or paparazzi's there. But that's a different thing than actually sitting down in a setting where you had agreed that you're going to sit down and talk.
Well, even if it is a setting, how hard is it to say, yeah, that's an interesting question, but it's not something I want to talk about?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think the thing is with this fame thing, it's just such a balance. And I think it was funny because I spoke to like 3 legends about this. I spoke to Alan Arkin, Morgan Freeman, and Michael Caine, you know, about the fame game. You get recognized all the time. Yeah. Has your perception of fame changed during the years? Or what you think?
Not my appreciation, not my perception, but my appreciation of it has changed drastically. It ain't all it's cracked up to be.
Oh yeah, when you're young, you look at people getting a lot of attention and getting money and fame, and that made them happy. It doesn't make anybody happy. I've never met a person, anybody who made it happy.
You have no privacy, and privacy is precious.
There was an attitude I looked at with people getting selfies on the street, you know, stopping you.
Well, yeah, now it's impossible.
Yeah,
you know.
But and then I thought to myself, the only worst thing that people stopping is not stopping me.
And there's a sad truth in that.
Yeah, so the thing is...
I love Michael Caine.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, he's the one that would know, right? I mean, he came from a working class background and he knew what the alternative could have been, I'm sure. So he's always been really appreciative of his job and his craft. And now I said craft, sorry.
Yeah.
Career, I should have said.
Some people have also pointed out that you should, as a journalist, you should consider the mood that the person is in when you enter a room and be, you know, sensitive about the other person and their feelings.
Yeah, but how easy is that when you step in, you have 15 seconds to sit down and you go and they go, Kjersti, Flaa, Norway, go.
Yeah, I know. And when they're closed off, and sometimes if they are, I would try and steer the conversation another way. I definitely have sometimes a few backup questions if that happens. But then when someone is not willing to give you anything, you can go through like 15 questions in that little...
Oh, that's the worst. When you sit there and you go, God, I don't have any more questions. What am I going to do?
Yeah, if you ask yes or no, I don't know, I don't care to everything, it's just like you run out of questions. Another thing, if you are a celebrity and you feel like you can't do your job, you should say that and then not do those interviews. That's what I think, you know, because otherwise you're just going to ruin it for everyone else that's there.
Maybe they're pressured by the studios.
I'm sure they are.
You know, now it sounds very negative, I think. So, you know, 90% of the interviews we do, it goes without a hiccup, right? And they are nice and professional and...
Really, I would say more than 90% actually. I think 99% of the people I've met have been really nice.
99.
Yeah, I would say that, actually. I have about 6 or 7 like really bad experiences out of like out of 500. But I've shown some, you know, examples of them just to show what's going on sometimes. But I mean, most of the time people are great, and sometimes people are really interesting, and sometimes they're super lovely. You know, you have people getting out of their chair, giving you a hug, you know, very, very nice, and they're giving you their full attention, and they're making such an effort to give you really good answers. Like Angelina Jolie, I showed a clip from my interview with her. You have great experiences with her too, I think.
She's been great, and one that's always get a bad rep, it seems, is Jennifer Lopez, and I have to say she's been super cool every time, and you know, she's one of them that can say, I don't want to talk about that, or usually she talks about everything.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
I've also had only good experiences with her. I met her once when she was a little tired and she was like a little low in energy, but she always delivers. Yeah. She would always just like
Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super, super professional. And I love that about her. Even though, I mean, she's been getting a lot of heat, I think, on TikTok because she hasn't been treating her fans in a good way. But I have to say that I do understand that sometimes it can be hard to, you know, when you can never go out in public and be left alone. I would never want that life.
Now you've been in this game for so long. Do you still enjoy the fame part of this? Or is it some days you're thinking, oh, I wish people didn't recognize me?
Fame is a double-edged sword. You know, there's some parts of it that are really nice and you get like privileges with it, and then there's some of it that really sucks. It's just, but I feel like everybody has parts of their job like that. There's parts of it that they love and there's parts of it that they don't love. It's okay. I'm so used to it now. I don't even think about it anymore.
But can you walk around and people are like living?
Sometimes, and sometimes no.
So that's it, I think, Magnus, for this.
Yeah, it's getting too hot in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it. And thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, please do so. If you'd like more of this content, please share your thoughts in the comment section. I've been getting so much amazing feedback, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.